So, I did a video, kind of going off on a comment that a person made that I thought initially was to me, but it was to another person that had commented on one of my videos. And as I read that, I was kind of glad I didn't post it and make a fool out of myself, because I thought she had posted it to me. But it came up as spam, and when I looked at that particular part in my YouTube account, I noticed that the comment wasn't to me; it was to another person that commented on my video, which was in favor of my video, and it was full of typical disses, relating to who this I'm assuming black man allegedly was dating, accusing him of being with a fat white woman, being married to a fat white woman. I don't understand why that's the go-to diss, and why, for whatever reason, this is supposed to, I guess, hurt a black man. Now, I want to ask a question, and the few of you that still watch my videos, because I'm trying to really decrease the drama in it. Those of you who come to actually watch my content and not the bullshit that goes on in the comment section, I want you to answer me this question. What is the likelihood of seeing a black man with a fat black woman versus a black man with a fat white woman? What do you typically see more? Now, it depends on probably where you live at, whether you live in a rural area or you live in an urban area. It probably will vary. But most commonly, what do you typically see more often? Now, in my case, where I used to live, I see more black men with fat black women than I typically see black men with fat white women. Now, typically, when I see a black man with a fat white woman, typically that black man doesn't have a lot going for himself, and typically they both look down and out. When I typically see a black man with a white woman where I live at now, that white woman is usually in shape. She usually is, what's the word I'm looking for? Not humble, but she's feminine. She's not referring to him as bruh. It's typically babe or honey or sweetie. But yet, the main disses in that video that I did, why I will avoid black women from now on, the main disses, whether it's to me or other people, are always, you're with a fat white woman. You're with a white woman that's ugly. So she's either fat or ugly. But usually when you see a black woman with a white man, is he usually cut up? Is he usually in shape? See, this enigma is so deep and so intertwined and rooted in deflection that it often gets lost in reality. And what I mean by that is this hatred of black men exploring or choosing other options really shouldn't bother anybody. Just like a black woman with a white man or a non-black man doesn't bother me, because I don't give a shit, because I would only want to deal with black women who like black men, and ultimately I'm already married, so I don't give a shit who's dating who, married to who. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. Now, could it be the fact that not a lot of these black women are marriage material? So when a black man does go outside of his race or marries or dates, they feel some type of way because they don't have that option. They're not viable. They're not appealing to multiple nationalities or ethnicities. I did a video a while back saying that the world envies the black man's penis because it only becomes an issue when a black man does it. See, no one is upset when a black man is dating a Filipino. No one is upset when a black man is dating a Mexican. No one really gets all bent out of shape when a black man is dating an Arab woman, maybe that woman's parents, but a whole group of people aren't really upset about it. But when a black man dates a white woman, not only is sometimes that black man's family upset about it, somehow a whole group of women get upset about it or have something to say about it. Now, what I found is that in real life, in actual everyday dealings, this is why I advise people to get out, travel, and talk to people and experience other people. Because typically this doesn't happen. Black women get a bad rap. Whoa, what did Northstar just say? Yes, black women get a bad rap. Because in media, and predominantly only in media, do black women get upset about this. In everyday life, black women don't give a shit. Northstar must be smoking some sticky icky. He's actually defending black women. Yes, no, in this instance, in this argument that I'm making, yes, I am. I'm defending black women. Why? Because I do care about black women in general because I am a black man and came from a black woman. Whoa, what the fuck is he saying? See, the difference between me and the people who don't like me or don't like my videos, because they don't really know me, they just don't like my videos. See, I can speak my mind on something and I can then turn around and be truthful about it and say, look, this ain't fair. Most black women don't give a fuck that black men are dating outside of their race. The media drums this shit up on social media and through movies. It makes it a bigger issue than what it really is. It's the same thing that they do with racism. Racism exists. Racism is not imaginary. Racism is real. Is racism as rampant as it is alleged to be? No, it's not. Though these things do happen, they don't happen on a mass scale like the media would have you to believe, like the federal government would have you to believe. See, in reality, black folks and white people like each other. They do. They really do. Those that experience each other, they like each other. This is why the federal government, for a long time, or not even federal government, but local governments, didn't want this. They wanted the segregation because it garnered votes. It garnered a base of division. So if you had blacks over here and you had whites over here, you knew that you had a voting block. It's all done with voting. It's all about voting, votes. It has nothing to do with legitimate gripes. So every crime statistic points out blacks and this and that and whites this and that. With everyone being initially violent, with some give and take here and there, some higher, some lower. Okay? But at the end of the day, most people are typically the same. Now, there's no such thing as black women hating white women for taking black men. What they do is they take a fringe element and they make it the majority. So there is a fringe element that has a problem with this. But as a whole, black women don't give a shit. Just like black men don't typically care about the only black dude that cares about black women dating white men or non-black men are black men who can't get women at all. Because see, the logic behind it is, if you can get a woman or if you can get a man, if that person genuinely cares and loves about you, cares about you and loves you, then you don't really care what color they are. It only becomes an issue when exterior forces try to place pressure upon an intimate decision between two people. Because let's put it this way: two black people who get together, but their families don't like each other. What does race have to do with that? They just don't like each other. And it's probably because, why? They don't know each other. They haven't taken the time to get to know each other. See, when you take time to get to know other ethnicities and you talk to other people, you'll quickly realize there's really no difference other than skin tone or skin complexion or, melanin or lack thereof. It's really the only difference between the so-called races or different ethnic groups. See, a lot of it is ignorance. And ignorance is a very strong tool used by all governments and all authorities, people in power. See, if you have, in the book 1984, Goldstein was the image to hate. And I even said a few years ago that before they allegedly killed bin Laden, which I think bin Laden was dead a long time ago before that, but before they killed bin Laden was Goldstein. He was that image that you could flash up and get everybody riled up and ready to go off the war and kill some people to find this person that the United States CIA set up as an asset in the 1980s, early 90s. This whole video as a whole probably doesn't really have a point per se. But the point of what I'm saying is I initially made an assumption that ultimately I thought a person was talking to me because of, one, the way YouTube presented it to me. YouTube presented it to me as if the comment was made directly to me. But upon further review, the comment was not made to me. But the question is, why did I respond that way? The reason why I responded that way was because the way it was presented to me. So the way that the media presents things to you is very important. It shapes your worldview. That's why it's most important to go out and speak to people. I'll tell you this one story and then I'll end the video. A few years ago, back when we only had one child, me and my wife took a trip down to Clearwater, Florida. Now, her mom married into a family that has a condominium down there. They were nice enough to let us rent it out for about, I think, $200 for the week. In a very nice area, very, wealthy area of Clearwater, Florida. Now, while down there, I was bringing the garbage down. We had to go down to the parking lot, and there was a place where you could throw the garbage out. As I was bringing the garbage out, I ran into a gentleman from Nova Scotia, Canada. We began talking, and, it started off a simple conversation and got into more complex thing, talking about Obama at the time. He was still president. And, and I was saying how, he was his mom was a CIA asset and yada, yada, yada. And he was very impressed. And I was, and we were talking about the Healthcare Act. And he was very impressed with my knowledge about these things. Why do you think that was? He saw a black dude who seemingly was just a black dude, but upon him getting to talk to me and me talking to him, he was very knowledgeable about about conspiracies against blacks that I didn't think he would know. And in that simple exchange of conversation, he got a different impression than initially thought of me and me of him. Now, what I brought that story up to put a bow on this is to caution people, always be leery about how things are presented to you, because sometimes things are presented to you for you to respond a certain way, and not necessarily in the correct way, but to respond in a certain way that they want you to respond. See, initially I made a video to this person cursing them out because I got tired of being told that my wife is white, my wife is fat, my wife is ugly. And I went on a whole tangent, 8-minute tangent, all to just find out the comment wasn't even to me. But that goes to show you how deep the deception is. And see, I'm a fair guy. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to be perfect. I thought something one way, and come to find out it was another. So maybe, just maybe, before people come to my videos and say stupid shit, maybe you can give up your life of trolling and actually maybe learn something from me, as opposed to just saying stupid shit to me, or saying stupid shit to people who agree with what I say. Maybe, just maybe, there could be a lot less problems, online and offline, if we took the time to examine the whole situation and see what it really is, as opposed to what it is. This has been a Q's Commentary / Q's Corner, and I'll see you next time.